From up here, you can really see it. The city, all lit up, humming like some giant machine. Every little light is a life, you know? Every car, just another pulse in the system. I sit here and I watch. I watch them all going about their day, chasing after something they probably couldn't even name if you asked them, running a race they never really chose.
It's this frantic scramble. But for what, really? A nicer car? A bigger house? Some fancy title? They just run and run, completely convinced there's some grand prize waiting for them at the finish line. But from my perspective, it just looks like a lot of movement without any real meaning. It's like they're trying to outrun their own shadow.
And you know how they make the whole race bearable? Costumes. It's like this huge unspoken masquerade ball happening all the time. They put on the uniform of doctor or artist or good parent, and each one comes with a pre-approved script for how to live a meaningful life. It's all about feeling important.
So what's the big secret behind all this? Well, it's this. Underneath all that ambition, all that noise, there's this deep, terrifying fear of just not existing. The need to be a hero isn't about ego, not really. It's an ancient built-in defense against the terror of death. It's their way of screaming into the universe, hey, I was here, I actually mattered.
And society, being pretty efficient, has two main costumes ready to go, right off the rack. On the one hand, you've got the way of the sheep. That's all about fitting in, following the rules, finding your safety in the herd. Then, you've got the way of the peacock. Stand out, rack up status and money, show off all your shiny feathers. Both paths are designed for the exact same thing, to convince you that you are cosmically special, that your life isn't just some brief random accident.
So, where do I fit in? Well, I looked at the costumes, I read the scripts, and I just couldn't do it. I refused. Or maybe I just failed at it. Honestly, that line gets a little blurry after a while. I couldn't join the herd, and I sure as hell couldn't preen with the peacocks.
You know, there's a part of me that sees the whole thing as this massive, absurd joke. All these arbitrary rules, this frantic chasing, it's ridiculous. But then there's this other, darker part of me that whispers that maybe the game was just too hard, that I wasn't smart enough or strong enough to play and win, and that maybe in the end, the joke's on me.
And this is the part that really matters. When those pre-approved paths don't work for you, when they don't give you that meaning you were promised, the whole system just crashes, and it crashes hard. The result isn't some kind of freedom, no. It's a deep, gnawing distress. It's the anxiety of not having a map, the depression of feeling totally worthless, and this really profound self-hatred for being the one person who couldn't make it all work. So what do you do when you just can't play the game? When you refuse to even participate? Well, you retreat. You build yourself a different kind of kingdom, one made out of spite and observation, where you're the only subject and the only king.
You find a corner. It's like a metaphorical basement apartment of the soul, an underground. From down there, the world is all muffled. You can watch the race, but you don't have to run in it. It's an exile you choose for yourself, and believe it or not, there's a very famous literary precedent for this.
Dostoevsky absolutely nailed this state of being like 150 years ago. His underground man, that's him quoted here, is the original archetype. He's brilliant, he sees how absurd it all is, but his intelligence doesn't save him. It just traps him in his own head, paralyzed by overthinking and just filled with spite for all the simple, active people living their lives upstairs. And that right there is the core of the anti-hero. It's not about being a bad guy or a villain. It's about being the living embodiment of the hero's journey completely failing. The anti-hero is the one who looks at the grand quest for meaning and just calls it a fraud, mocking the very idea that anyone can become something noble or special.
But living in that underground kingdom, it's painful. It is so lonely. So you have to build up some defenses. You've got to find a way to soothe that constant ache of failure. You have to find someone or something to blame. And the easiest, most effective defense? You become a victim. Now, victimhood is a strange kind of armor. It deflects every bit of responsibility. See, if you're a victim, nothing is your fault. You're excused from the race. Your failure gets transformed into some kind of tragic injustice. The instruction manual for self-soothing is pretty straightforward. Step 1, blame your family. They didn't raise you right. Step 2, blame society. Its values are corrupt and stupid. And finally, step 3, blame the system. Capitalism, politics, you name it, it's all rigged against you. By pushing all the fault outwards, you create this story where you're the noble sufferer in a broken world. This is the dark mirror image of the hero's quest, where the hero believes victory and meaning are possible. The anti-hero, wrapped up in his victimhood, develops a deep, profound belief that victory is impossible. It's just an illusion for suckers. This rejection of responsibility leads you straight into a deep, paralyzing nihilism.
And I stayed in that kingdom of blame for a long, long time. But then, one day, just watching all those frantic lights down below, something clicked. I had this terrible but clarifying thought. This wasn't just my own private war. This wasn't some unique problem that only I had.
I was so wrong. The anti-hero isn't some different species of person. He's not the exception to the rule. He is a part of everyone. We are all the battleground. Every one of us is a civil war, being fought on two fronts.
Inside every single one of us, these two forces are in a constant battle. On one side, you have that powerful, innate drive to be a hero, to create meaning, to matter. And on the other side, you've got the voice of the anti-hero, that despairing little whisper that says it's all pointless, you should just give up, go back to your corner, and blame the world for your problems.
And here is the single most important takeaway from all of this. Your psychological health, your sanity, your ability to just function as a human being, it depends entirely on which of those two voices you choose to listen to, which one you decide to feed.
So, I'm not just a narrator in the shadows anymore. I'm talking to you. Because this story isn't about some distant literary figure. It's about a choice that you make every single day.
You have to be honest with yourself. You have to acknowledge that cynical, spiteful, despairing voice inside you. Recognizing that anti-hero within isn't a sign of weakness. It's the first real act of strength. It's the most honest step you can possibly take to move past the comfortable armor of being a victim.
Because it's only when you acknowledge that voice that you can choose not to obey it. Only then can you stop looking for a pre-made costume, sheep or peacock, and start doing the much harder, but much more rewarding, work of building your own path to meaning. A path that is actually, authentically yours.
So I'll just leave you with this. That battle is happening inside you right now. The heroic urge for meaning versus the nihilistic pull of the anti-hero. The next time you feel that pull to retreat, to blame, to despair, you have a choice to make. The only question is, which voice are you going to feed?